The YouTube videos keep on a-rolling. Now, I actually want to talk about buying a PC, and this will also extend to buying a PC. This will also extend to smartphone and tablets. But I want to help you guys pick out what's best for you. Whether you're a person that's trying to start up YouTube, trying to stream, trying to be a gamer, trying to be a video editor and things like that. I want to help you make the right decision and what's the best way to choose what you're going to. Now let's talk about laptop versus desktop. Which one should you buy? Should you buy a laptop or should you buy a desktop? Well, that will depend on what your needs are. For instance, if you're on the road traveling a lot, then a laptop might be your best bet and you might need a laptop. But if you're not traveling on the road a lot, then a laptop's not really for you. Especially if you're a person that's going to be streaming and doing a lot of intensive stuff on your computer through day-to-day use. I would say a laptop's not for it. Now, I'm not a fanboy of Mac, and I'm not a fanboy of Windows, so I'm going to try to explain this as best as possible, because I'm definitely not a fanboy. If you're a person that's thinking about gaming or streaming, then definitely a Mac computer is not the way to go, just because Mac computers, for instance, they don't have any good GPUs in them. So I wouldn't say they're good for streamers or for gamers at all. Those are not the way to go. Whether it be a laptop or whether it be a desktop, Mac computers are just not the way to go when you're talking about gaming or streaming in general. They just don't have the same processing power. Not to say that they're not bad. They're definitely not bad, but they're not for that crowd at all. So I would shy away if you're either one, again, a gamer, or you're thinking about streaming, then no. But for people who are going to be video editing, then that is where Mac is actually good. We all know their editing software is actually one of the best editing softwares you can buy. I can name a lot of top tier people, whether they're in whether they're in gaming, whether they're in video creation, whether they're in movies, television. A lot of them use Macs, and they actually use Final Cut Pro. Now, Final Cut Pro is definitely really expensive, but you have the option on Mac computers, whether it be a laptop or desktop. That's why I say for video editing, Macs are definitely very good. So don't think just because gaming's bad, they're definitely good for people who are going to be video editing as well. Now back to the whole laptop thing. Same thing goes for laptops. If you're a person that games a lot, most scenarios, laptops not the best. However, take note that there are going to be laptops on the market that you can actually game in. NVIDIA is actually putting 1060, 1080 graphics cards into full-blown laptops and blowing people's minds. That is a thing. And they're supposed to be desktop class. I haven't seen it in a lot of laptops, so it is possible. But for the most part, if you're going to be gaming on the go, especially, or not gaming on the go, I apologize. If you're going to be gaming in general on a computer, I would say laptop is not the best way to go, just because you're going to be able to get a better experience sitting down at a desktop with a keyboard and mouse, with a better screen too, to be more comfortable in a house. That's really where gaming is going to shine when it comes to computers. So laptops are eliminated for gamers. Now, laptops, like I said, are good for people who have the on-the-go thing. They may want to video edit. Even if you're doing hardcore video editing, laptops are good, whether you get Windows or Mac. Now, on the PC side or Windows side, I cannot tell you what video editing software is to use. A lot of people swear by Adobe, and a lot of people swear by Sony Vegas. Myself, I'm not a Sony Vegas fan. I just have so many problems with Sony Vegas. I'm not saying it's junk. It's definitely not junk. And if you can get it to work, go ahead and use it. I think it's a very capable editing software. Personally, me, I am on the Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Premiere camp. I love Adobe. Whenever I need to video edit, I do use Adobe. So I swear up and down by Adobe. I would definitely say also stay away from those Windows Movie Makers and those free cheap crap ones, because those ones don't have a lot of features, and especially if you're trying to get into hardcore video editing, there are even some stuff in there that you would think that should be in one of those that are not in one of those, believe it or not. Windows Movie Maker. There's some features. I haven't used Windows Movie Maker in a long time, and I don't think Windows 10, 8 even come with Windows Movie Maker anymore. So I think those are definitely out of the question for sure. So those are scenarios you would want and use a laptop. Also, if you're a person that's a casual user of the internet, I will say that a laptop is going to be good for you, but most likely you're not going to spend $600, $700, $800. Most likely, even if you're a casual web browsing user that only browses the web. Like, I can name a lot of people, for instance, my mom and dad. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not gaming. They're not video editing. They're not posting videos all the time. Then I would highly suggest going the route of either buying a tablet or buying a smartphone. You can even buy really crappy smartphones. Even if you don't have a carrier to use it on, you can use it on Wi-Fi. So look around, broad cells and things, iPod touches, anything that has Wi-Fi on it, most likely can browse the internet. Get one of those. You'll save yourself a lot of cash. But however, if you still want the experience of a computer in a laptop form, and you're just a casual internet browser, you mainly only use Chrome when you browse around the internet, you watch Netflix, you browse the internet, you look at pictures, things like that, then I would highly suggest going the Chromebook route, because Chromebooks only cost literally $199 for like a base model one. Sure, you're not getting the same performance, and you're not going to be doing a lot, and it's only going to be online stuff only, but most of the time, those people anyway only use the internet anyway, so they need Wi-Fi anyway. So having a Wi-Fi enabled device only, where all the apps only work on Wi-Fi or the internet, it's absolutely A-okay. Now here's where I think a desktop is really going to be useful for you. Also, I am going to tell you which one is better. Should you buy a desktop, a pre-built desktop, or should you buy a big boxed one from a store like Walmart, Best Buy, Target, anywhere that sells big box PC, whether it be from HP, Dell, Asus? What's the best way to go? Now, for people who are going to be gaming hardcore, and people who are going to be streaming, doing a lot of video editing, doing a lot of what else am I saying? Doing most of those activities, I would say definitely go with a desktop, especially if you're not going to be on the go. For gamers, I would still suggest a desktop over a laptop any day, even though there are laptops, like I said, capable of playing high-quality games on the go. It's just a better optimal experience on desktop. But for streamers especially, and for YouTubers, and for people who are doing a lot of gaming, desktop is going to be the most optimal experience altogether. Definitely go with a desktop. You can pair yourself with a lot of different peripherals and a lot of different accessories that'll make the experience 100% awesome. Now, in this video, I'm not going into details like what you should buy, what hardware, if you're buying a pre-built one, or if you're buying a homemade one, building one yourself, and things like that, a custom build. I'm not going through all of that. That's not what this video is for. It's just designed for people to have an understanding which route you should go as a consumer, especially if you don't know anything about computers and things like that. This video will give you a general idea of what you should go for. Now let's talk about big box store PC, and now let's talk about a custom built PC. Which one should you buy? Now, obviously, if you're a person that's gonna be YouTubing, gonna be streaming, and gonna be playing games, most likely you're gonna have a custom built rig ready to go, because for the most part, those are going to be, I would probably say, around 90 to 99% better than what you're going to find at the store. The parts are going to be better because you can choose your parts. You'll probably have more cooling in there. You'll have better, just overall better parts, and performance is just going to be better. And of course, if you don't know what you're doing, there are people out there, like people who generally are like enthusiasts like myself that love things like this, that are generally kind enough that will help you get started and tell you and direct you to what kind of setup you need. Do you need one for, are you playing esporty games, or are you playing AAA, big, meaty, 4K, 1080p games, and you want to have the best computer on the market that's going to blow everyone out the water when they see it? People will guide you to that. So don't worry about that aspect. If you need help, just tell them what games you want to play, and then people will help you in that aspect. But definitely going to be building your own computer is definitely going to be the way. Now, I'm not saying that there are computers on the market that are in big box stores that you can buy that are actually going to gonna be good. Like Alienware makes some and Asus makes some, so there are some you can get on the market that are still gonna be comparable to what you can build yourself. But building it yourself is most likely the better way because you can choose everything and make it how you want. I've seen some pretty badass builds out there, and especially if you love, well, honestly, already you know, if you love technology or you love PCs and things like this, you're definitely going to buy a custom built PC right out the gate. The one reason you would buy like an HP, a Dell, just a standard one for $400, $500, $600 would be, again, you're just a casual user like my mom or dad, and they're not even editing videos, uploading 99% of the time and things like that. Also, not to say that you can't upload YouTube videos or things like that with just a basic $400, $300, $500 PC, you can, but the thing is, most likely, if you're doing that, taking it seriously, you're gonna build yourself a pretty beefy computer, and you're gonna, because a lot of those computers as well, even if you can upload videos, once you graduate and you learn how to video edit and things like that, and you want to keep it on for a long period of time, you're taking it serious, you're gonna want a custom built PC. Also, the beautiful part about having custom built PCs is the fact that you can actually make one for $400 or $500 that's kick-ass and solid. And there's what you'd be looking at one at the big box store, it's $400 or $500, and if you build one for the same price, you pretty much got more power than the one for $4 or $5 from a big box store, which is very, very awesome. Again, you will have to know what you're doing, what parts to buy and things like that, but it is possible, and it's very, very awesome. So there's all the different things you need to know, whether you're buying a laptop, whether you're buying a desktop, whether you're a streamer, things like that. That's pretty much everything to know. Now, I know I already explained myself, but I want to explain myself one more time really quick in a recap, just so you can understand, just in case you weren't listening or like you didn't fully comprehend it or something like that. I want you to understand what kind of stuff I am talking about. I'm going to go over it real quick one more time before I end the video. Like I said again, laptops are going to be good for people who are on the go and things like that. If you're a video editor, you can definitely get away. Also, if you're a gamer, you can buy a laptop, but I would not recommend it, even though they're the same. The best experience for gamers, streamers, YouTubers is going to be a PC, and it's going to be a custom-built PC, most likely. If you're taking it seriously, you're going to be doing that. If you're just a casual user, you can buy a Chromebook for $199 if you need to take it on the go and you don't do anything but browse the internet, watch videos online, then a Chromebook is going to be good for you. I would not also, I forgot to mention, I would not also recommend really paying for a desktop that's $400 or $500 if all you're going to do is web browsing. That is really expensive. That's why I say get a Chromebook or get yourself a tablet or a smartphone. Even if you don't have a contract, smartphones have Wi-Fi, of course, if you don't know. Look around places. People are going to get old cell phones out the way, even 2, 3, 4 years old. You can even find like probably a still good working S5, S4 that's still working and it can browse the internet. Internet's not chopped off and you can get one of those. I highly recommend it if you're just a casual browser of the internet. But that's pretty much the way to go. Also, I mentioned I am not a fanboy of Mac or Windows, but if you're 99% of the time, 100% for gaming, you're gonna use PC. You're not gonna be using Mac because you can't custom build Mac computers. You have to buy them from Apple the way they're created. They don't come with good GPUs, unfortunately. You can play like little bubble games, or you can play Tetris and things like that, but you cannot play hardcore AAA games. I don't even know if you can really play esporty type games on there. You can probably get away with playing esporty type games, but I highly wouldn't recommend Mac. I'm not hating on Mac. I don't want you guys thinking I am hating on Mac, because I'm definitely not hating on their operating system. It's just not good for certain things. But for, like I said, for people who are video editing, Final Cut Pro is definitely going to be awesome. I want to tell you again, Final Cut Pro is awesome. Whether you get it in laptop form or whether you get it in their Mac Pro or one of their iMacs, Final Cut Pro is definitely a monster, and you should look into that if you think you're going to be using a lot of video editing. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.